Hi, my name is David Werner. I'm going to be going through a quick Getting Started Zivizi Business Essentials training. I'm going to go through this quickly. We did this earlier on a call. This will be available in some live presentations, but I wanted to make a quick recording for those of you that want to watch this again and just walk through these things quickly. So I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time talking about myself. I am going to go right into talking about the business and the great growth that we've had and what you can do to build your team fast. So one of the things that we do is we welcome our new members. That's really important. There's a saying that says the quality of boarding somebody will determine the length of time that they stay on board with the company. So it's almost a process you want to spend some time up front on, make sure everybody has a good experience. So one of the things we do when we're bringing people into the business is we have the new members text us their sign-up confirmation. So you should do that, and that lets them know that you're standing by to make sure they got on board. So if you're not in front of your computer and you have somebody come on, have them text you that sign-up confirmation. You can also tell them congratulations through text back, and you can follow up with a quick call to them. The second thing we try to do is upline introduction, three-way call within the first 24 hours. So your upline is there to help support your business. So if you bring somebody in new, make the connection between the two, and your upline will always say good things about you. So that is also helpful. So that's a great way to introduce them to the business and give them that connection experience of the team building. And by the way, if you're going to start a business and you're going to go into growing out a real part-time or full-time income, isn't it great to have a support team? You want to log into your back office also and verify their position in your tree. So make sure when they signed up that they didn't actually go through and click on the button that says join as a customer or join as a promoter. You want to make sure they click join as a promoter if you're bringing them in as a promoter. And then make sure they're aware of any product promotions that are running in case they've got some free product coming or something like that. You can at least cover that when you bring them on board with you. So another component of welcoming new members is helping to log in the back office and set the default. So think of it like this: if you're starting a franchise and it's your business, you're going to train your new franchisee on it. In a sense, same type of thing. You want to come in and do a little training with your people as you bring them on board. Make sure they know how to log into myzivizi.com and get into their back office. Have them also, right when they start, share a post on their Facebook wall. And where better to get the post information than from within their back office in our library. So there's some great Facebook posts that are already pre-built they can put on their wall and begin sharing Zivizi. And also have them join the Team Invincible Facebook wall and also visit the Zivizi Facebook site. So let them know there are some Facebook support sites out there that will help them to be able to use and share some testimonials, that type of thing. So that's welcoming new members. Now in the back office, of course, you get a login. I like to go in and help show them how to set up their default placement option, how to show them how to sign up somebody manually in the downline, how to show them where to access that content. And then, of course, everybody gets a replicated link when they join Zivizi, which is a replicated site link. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, and then setting up a domain name so they can have their own custom domain name for that. So I like to point out when you log in, you're going to see this My Account button. You're going to go down to the Edit Account Info and then the Placement Settings. And this is real important because the software automatically defaults a placement setting. What that means is if you send your replicated link out, somebody's going to either come to they're going to join, for example. Let's say you put your link onto your business cards, you handed out 10 of them, and 3 people just went and signed up through your link, and you didn't talk with them. Where are they going to be placed at in your tree? Because the Zivizi is a binary, there's a left and a right position, and they're either going to fall on your left side or your right side. So the software will automatically put them by default, where it's going to be most beneficial. That's called the minor volume leg. So because you get paid, and I'll show you in a few minutes, by balancing your legs, but your commission's paid on the lesser volume leg, you want to add your people to that leg theoretically. So the software says minor volume team is where you're going to want to put your people by default. Now I have it marked in here, left team leg, because left team is my power leg. And I want to have a couple people placed in my left team leg, and I'm going to be passing my cards out or some flyers. So if someone happens to go join up, then I want to make sure they get in the left side. I can change that default in here, and then you can read a little bit about what these defaults are. So depending on kind of what your strategy is on building your team, which we'll talk about in a minute, you might choose a different option. But just know that that's in your software so that you don't sign somebody up thinking they're going on your left leg and you forgot to go in and change your default settings because you didn't place them there yourself. So that's just something for you to be aware of. Now, placing somebody in your downline tree yourself is also another good approach. You can do this if you're on the phone with somebody, or if they're sitting in your office or at your house or wherever you got your laptop. You go to View My Team, go to Tree Views, click on the 7-level tree view, and what it's going to show you is a tree view of your downline. So you'll have a little sponsor someone into this spot, so as you're building out your group, you can choose manually where to put somebody. Just click on that link and you can place them in that position. So another thing in the back office is the content library. You guys should all go check this out. Go to Resources, go down here to Library Center, and then go down to the drop down, and you're going to see a list of all the different items that are in here. And then you're going to see these as PDF documents. There might be some videos in here, some other types of documents, but you can click on the file and open it. And there's a lot of great, beautiful literature and information in here that we can use to build our business. So I'm encouraging you to go through and look at each one of these items. I mean, think of it like this. It's your business. These are your products you're selling, and you're serious about it because you're going to make this an opportunity for you to become financially independent. So get to know your products, go through and look what's available for you. The company's already put a lot of work into this, and you can use these at events, if you're going to do any trade shows, if you're going to share things with your friends. The documents are right in here, so go jump into this area and get to know it. Next on the list is sharing your link. This is what your link looks like, yourname.myzivizi.com. So when you go through the sign-up process, if your username is Purple Dinosaur, it's going to be purpledinosaur.myzivizi.com, and that's what you're going to be able to share. When somebody clicks on that link, it's going to take them back to the Zivizi website. It passes a cookie in it that stores your username, so no matter where they go throughout the site, they come back to join, you're going to get the credit for it. So it's kind of like your own website replicated for just your personal use. So this is the name you want to share. You don't want to share Zivizi.com or myzivizi.com. You want to share whatever your username.myzivizi.com, and you're going to want to put that on your cards, car window flyers, events, yada yada, all that good stuff. Now you may want to have a little more customization to your domain name. So what you can do is you can go set up a third-party domain name, or go set up a domain name off of a site, and you can point it to your Zivizi replicated URL. So here's a couple of options for that. You can go to GoDaddy or 1&1. GoDaddy is a great source. You can go into Google and type in 99-cent domain name, and there's a special GoDaddy runs where your first domain name is only 99 cents for the whole year. So if you go do that search, you're going to find GoDaddy. The one thing is, when you set your domain name up there, make sure that you don't get upsold into something else. They try to upsell you on everything. But when your domain name is set up, you forward it. You go into your configuration panel in GoDaddy or 1&1, and you forward your domain name to your username.myzivizi.com site. At that point in time, it's a real simple process. It sounds a little technical, but it's something you go into the settings for your domain name, and that's pointing it to an external website, and you're going to want to set that up to forward it to an external site. It takes just a few minutes. Bam, you hit the button, and it'll take them about 5 minutes to a couple hours, depending on which one of the services you're using. But your new domain name then will forward to your Zivizi domain. You can put that one on your business cards, put it on your car window, whatever you want to do. And then you can also set up an email address or an alias down here based upon your new domain name. So that kind of gives you your own branding. It gets you set up with your business. You have it on your cards. Now you can do that. Now some people have chosen domains like getthezlife.com, and you might look at livingthezlife, livingthezlife.com, whatever, I love zlife.com. But in the domain names, you cannot use the word Zivizi, since Zivizi is the company name. So keep that in mind. Don't use Zivizi in the domain name that you create as a custom domain. Okay, business cards are available in the back office. What they did is Zivizi has a Vistaprint account set up for us. We can go on to the Vistaprint account. There's the URL at the top that will show you where that's at, and it takes about 3 days from start to finish to get your cards. So it's a pretty quick process. You can customize them right online, and you're off to the races. Now, another topic we discuss quite often is auto reorder. The auto reorder is going to be like a monthly auto ship of your product. The auto reorder keeps you qualified. It's your $75 minimum qualification as a Z promoter through a Director 3-star rank. Once you rank up past the Director 3-star and you go into the executive, your auto ship changes to 150. The assumption is you're doing more production, you're out building your business, and that you maintain that auto ship from 1-star through your Diamond 3-star. So it's important to know this because you need to have your auto reorder set up automatically. If it's not set up, you're going to see this red square over here. So when you look at your tree, you're going to be able to see anyone in your downline that's not set up on the auto reorder, or if they are set up, you're going to see the green box. You can access this through your back office under your order and enroll, manage my monthly automatic reorder. So just make sure that you're on that, play it safe, and what you need to know about that is in the binary, as the volume is rolling up on your left and right leg, if for some reason you're not qualified monthly, then your minimum volume requirement's not met. The binary flushes both of those sides out at that end of that period, and they're zero. So you want to make sure that you're active and that you're qualified to be paid. So that's a real important thing on the auto reorder. Now you also know that the company has a 3 customers get yours free program. I want to point out that this is if you personally sponsor at least 3 preferred Z customers, or PC, whose auto reorder totals the same amount or more than your auto reorder, and then your order for the following month's free. So I don't want you to confuse this with promoters. So if you go out and you bring on 3 promoters, you're not going to get free product. Those promoters are building the business just like you are. So don't expect that. Make sure you know the difference. The customers are not the promoters as it relates to getting the 3 preferred Z customers, and you're getting your free product. So basically $75 in auto reorder is needed to maintain your qualification, or if you have 3 Z customers, that would also qualify for it as well. So just so you know the difference between the two, I would just say always get on the reorder. So the company also provides us with an e-wallet. The e-wallet is a way we get paid. You're going to receive a Zivizi card in the mail. It automatically activates upon your enrollment. You got to click on the email to verify the activation. So remember, if you don't have this card within a couple of weeks, go back, look at your email, or when you join or when you bring somebody on, make sure they check their email to click on the activation email for the e-wallet. If you don't click on that, you're not going to get it activated. It is done through a third-party company called iPayout. So iPayout system is what integrates with that email. So it needs to see that activation for your card actually to go live. Once that card goes live, then your commissions will be paid out on that card starting in mid-June. So that's just something for you guys to know as well. The fast start bonuses, the customer acquisition bonuses that are paid weekly go on this card, and your binary payments, which cycle weekly, go on this card, and they're loaded on every Wednesday or around Wednesday. It depends on the books. It always closes out, the week closes out Sunday night at midnight, and then they go through a couple-day process of loading the data onto the card. So it's usually by Wednesday where that becomes available to you. Compensation plan basics. We're going to get into that now. Some things you guys are going to need to know about how the compensation plan works. A lot of people have asked, well, I don't understand how this works. How does the binary and the unilevel work together? So I'm going to go through in this part and explain that to you. Remember, as we get started, a successful network marketing business is created by personally building a strong downline, not relying on one's upline. So I want you to go in with the right mindset. The tendency on binaries is to come in and say, well, I'm going to take a position and then everybody's going to grow it underneath me and I'm going to have this big leg. But you have to go out and work to build your business. That's why they call it network marketing. So keep that in mind. It's your responsibility to build your team, to build your inside leg, and you'll see what I'm talking about in just a moment. But nobody becomes successful in any network marketing company by waiting for their upline to do it for them. So let's start out on the right page when we start going through compensation with the right mindset. Okay, so here's how it works. Think about the commission software running two different programs, but in the same system. So I call them views. So here's a binary view and a unilevel view, and this is you. Now when you come in and you go sponsor in your first Z promoter, Tim comes on board on your team. He's on your right hand side on the binary view. Well, the software also sees Tim in a unilevel view underneath you. And you can see how that he's on your first level. Now you go and you bring in Joe, and you put Joe on your left hand side because you're balancing your legs, and that qualifies you for a commission. We're going to show you how that works in just a moment. But you see Joe on your unilevel view is also your personal sponsor. And then you go bring in Mary. Now you have to place Mary either on the right side of Tim or the left side of Joe. And you go ahead and place Mary on the right side of Tim down below. That's considered spillover for Tim. So but on the unilevel, you're going to see here that Mary is your personal sign up. So she's first level to you as a personal sponsor. But in your binary, you'll see her falling down on the right hand side below Tim. So just recognize the software is going to track both ways, and it's going to pay you on both ways. So again, now Tim comes along. Tim's going to put in his first person on his right hand side. That's Tim's power line you can see here. So if my sponsor was on the left, you can see the power line going down here. I'm going to immediately start my new power line below Joe, but Tim goes ahead and places Lisa in. Mary now sees Lisa appear, and Lisa appears direct to Tim in your unilevel view. So Lisa is going to be your second level on the unilevel plan. Now that means that the company is going to pay you two ways. It's going to pay you 10% of your week or leg volume here each week, and it's going to pay you a percentage group volume paid down to 9 levels. So on your first level on your cells here, you're going to get paid 5%. Your second level, 4.5%, and that goes all the way down to 9 levels, where it's 1% on your 9th level. So realize that the company pays you monthly through unilevel, weekly through binary. So it's a pretty exciting plan. And you can really generate some income quick with this program. We got a little discrepancy on the line here. It looks like some formatting. I won't pay too much attention to that on this slide because I hope you understand the point. But let's go back and look at how we earn money. So the company pays a fast start bonus, 20%. And that means that if you had $250 sell here, $250 here, you've got $750 banking on your right, $250 on your left. It's going to give you a fast start. Remember, you sponsored Joe, you sponsored Tim, and you sponsored Mary. So that's going to be $50, $50, $50. You just made $150. And then the binary commission is going to look at the volume on the left and right. It's going to take the 250, which is your lesser volume, and it's going to pay you 10% of that. That means that you earn $25. So that's $175 you earned right out of the gate when you brought on your first 3 Z promoters on your team, and they purchased that production. So you're off to a really good start here. Now on the right hand side, the software calculated it as well, and it ended up with the total commissions of $37.50. And it did that because it took 5% of your level 1, which was $750 in volume, and it pays you out $37.50. So again, that's it just goes to show you how unilevel and binary work to allow you to generate income in both ways. Now there's some benefits to binary and there's benefits to unilevel, and this company has a plan that pays both, so it's called a hybrid plan, and that's really the best plan to be in a network marketing company, because the unilevel allows you to really reach down and get depth on your income earning, and it's a long-term opportunity that really creates stability in your growth. And then the binary is really exciting and it's motivating because you get the opportunity to pick up spillover, which helps you motivate you to go out and build your business. So we're going to talk a little bit about your sponsoring strategy. A lot of questions we get is, well, how do I start? Where should I put my first person, and my second person, and my third person? So if you're on the right side of your sponsor in this scenario, then you're in the default power leg. this basically is your power line or power leg. If you're on your sponsor's right side, that's going to be your power leg on the outside right side. So just think about that. And the very first person you bring in the business, you always want to place your first promoter in your right side. So I have it marked here as number 1, or I'm sorry, in this case it's the right, it's the power line. So if my power line is the left side because my sponsor's here and I'm on their left-hand side, I'm going to put my first person over here. But you always put your first person in your power line, your second person you're going to start your new power line with. So the idea is you want to balance and create your own power leg as quickly as possible. The third person you can place underneath of your power leg again, and what that does is that kind of helps you get started in your business quickly. It also qualifies you to earn a commission. But what you want to do is you want to always you never want to sponsor directly in the inside of the tree. And what I mean here is you don't want to personally sponsor somebody right here. The reason for that is that if you did that, your person that you brought in might expect you to go build this person's business because you're their direct sponsor, you're their leader. In this case, you really always want to teach your people to replicate what you're doing, which means they should be placing their first person in the power line, their second person in their new power line. So this person obviously is going to fall underneath their new power line that they should be starting. If you can't teach people how to replicate right, and everyone comes in expecting you to do the work for them, then you're building the wrong type of business and it's not going to work. So remember that. That's your power leg. You're typically coming in on. You're going to create your own power leg. So how does this pan out for income in this scenario? What you're looking at here, the 1, 2, and 3. Well, you need one promoter on the right and one promoter on the left to qualify for your first promotion. So remember that if you put 2 people in your right side, no one on your left side, you're not going to qualify for your promotion. So if your volume for each of your 3 cells is 250 in this example, like I showed you earlier, which is a total 750, you would earn $212.50. So you're promoted as a 1-star director at the same time. So the company really gets you on the fast track with the fast start bonuses. That's why they call it fast starts. You're off to the races, and it's exciting when you can make money quickly and you can see that happen fast for everybody. Again, balancing your legs is key in a binary, so you might consider placing your 4th promoter in your new power leg, your 5th promoter in your default power leg, and your 6th in your default in your new power leg as well. So this is just important for you to try to balance. That's the point of this slide. Is just because you have a power leg here that's building doesn't mean that you shouldn't contribute to that power leg. It's a power leg because you're contributing to it. But you do need to have your left and right, so you do contribute to it, but you still want to go ahead and make sure that you try to balance as you're recruiting and building your team. That way you can maximize getting the spillover from building the business. So this is what that looks like. It's called spillage in the industry. So in this example, you've sponsored in your first person. You went on to put on your second on your left, your third and your fourth, your fifth and your sixth. Well, your first person goes and they start the same process. Their first person here on the right, which spills over. The second on the left, this is their new power line. Their third on the right, which is spill over, and then fourth. So you can see that this effect is already happening, which motivates your team here. And now your person is beginning their power line. And again, by teaching the same concept, that 3, the spillage will continue to roll over on the inside leg. So this is a very good, stable way to build a binary business as a team. Your goal is to replicate spillage on both sides of the legs. Each person contributes 3 to the default leg and 3 to their power leg right out of the gate, and that's going to make your organization look something like this as it begins to grow. Again, you see the spillage on the left and right, and then the sequence starts over again. So this is a good strategy to build a binary. Each person will have 2 power legs. I mean, I know you hear, well, I only have 1 power line. Everyone really actually has 2 power legs. So you're going to see that. One of them is the new one you build. The other one is the one that's coming down from above you. So you always have 2. And each will get spillover faster if you're building those. Your teams on both sides will be motivated that way. So another component of our comp plan is the 60% rule. You're going to see this in another section of the slide, which is rank and bonus criteria. 60% of the qualifying group volume required to advance must come from the higher volume leg. So what you're going to see volume requirements, I'll show you on the next slide, which shows you, you have to have this much volume to be at this rank. Well, this basically says 60% of that volume that's required has to come from one leg, and the 40% has to come from the other leg. So in this example here, if you have 20,000 in this leg and 10,000 in this leg, if the promotion was for an executive 2-star, which requires 18,000 group volume, 10,800 would come from the higher volume leg, which would be this one, and then you would have 7,200 from the lower volume leg. You'd have to count that. So if you didn't quite have the volume here, you need to continue to build that before you meet that rank. And that's just a principle that is used in qualifying for your ranks. You'll find in the comp plan. The other component of a binary is that it cycles and flushes weekly. What that means is you earn your commissions weekly on the binary, so you get paid more frequently, and that means 52 times a year you're going to get paid on your binary plan. And the way it does that is it takes so if the volume at the end of the week is 20,000 on the left and 10,000 on the right, the 10% commission is paid on the 10,000 right volume, which would be $1,000 from this example. The right leg is then flushed to 0. So once the volume is used to pay out commissions, that volume is removed, and it's called flushing. So what the binary volume looks like before a weekly flush and cycle is this. Afterwards, it looks like this. You would have 10,000 would be flushed on your weaker side or your lesser leg, and then that 10,000 is deducted from your banking leg, which you can see would reduce that down to $10,000. So the volume on the lesser leg is flushed to 0, and the amount of the lesser leg is reduced from the higher banking side volume, which means that always you'll typically have one side that is going to continue to bank and have more volume than the other side. So in a sense, you're always playing catch up and making sure you're continuing to build your team out on your new power line. So just remember that. That's going to be your goal in building your business, and you want to teach the principle of balancing that early on. That way everybody wins. So here's a long-term growth example just to get your mind wrapped back around the binary and unilevel view as a summary. Spillover always happens on the outside legs of your right and left. So when you're bringing your people in, either sponsor them on the outside right or your outside left, and never on the inside. That's always the responsibility of your team to build their power line. You're responsible for, well, Zivizi's plan is both a unilevel and binary, or what's referred to as a hybrid plan. So sometimes when people talk to me and say, well, what type of plan? It's a hybrid, it's a binary, and it's a unilevel combined. Well, this is the same view in unilevel over a period of time as what you see here. You can go down unlimited depth, the volume always rose up, and you're paid on that. But here in the unilevel view, you can see that if your first person follows suit and does the same, brings in their 6, who bring in their 6, who bring in their 6, you can see that you're filling that out across on your unilevel, and you can get to a lot of volume that you're going to earn commissions on, from 5% down to 1%, 9 levels deep. So remember, this is a really, really great plan for the long term as well as the short term. So always plan, hey, you know what, for the next 3 years I'm going to be building this business and just cranking it out. So it's definitely worthwhile. So now we're going to talk quickly about the ranks and bonus criteria. In this particular chart, I have the ranks going across the top. I've got the global bonus pools that you fall into as you're producing and hitting your goals. We have the reorder volume. You can see how that goes from 75 to 150 right here at an executive 1-star. We have the monthly group volume calendar, which shows that your group volume requirements increase as you're building your business, and how that works. And then we've got personally sponsored promoters. Remember, you have to be a director 2-star, you have to have 2 people, one on your left, one on your right. And then your unilevel pay. This will show you how far down you're paid. 5% as a direct 1-star you earn on your first level, director 2-star, 4.5 down through your second level. And this is what you earn on that level. So 3.5, 3, 2.5, 2, 1.5. On your 9th level, you're earning 1%, and you're getting all these others from that volume going up as well. So it's a pretty exciting plan. What I want to point out on this screen also is that 3% of the company's gross sales commissionable volume is placed into a company pool. It's called a global pool, and that's shared among the leaders. So here's how that works. When you're a Director 3-star, that's 1,000 in personal volume. So if you come on board and you buy the director's a kit, that volume's counted towards your personal volume. So you're qualified as a Director 3-star right out of the gate. That's why I like to bring on 3-star. I like to bring on directors right out of the gate. And if you come in at the $2,500 package level, you get to count that volume, so you come in as an executive 1-star. So there's some ways you can really, for builders, fast start getting to your commissions and be earning a little bit more right out of the gate. Now, 50% of this 3% pool is in this global bonus, and it's divided among these people that have reached this status, and that's paid out. That's paid out monthly. So 50% of 3% is divided among these folks in the global bonus for Director 3-star, and that carries over to this one. Now, when you reach Executive 2-star, you now get an additional pool that you participate in, which is another 30% of the 3%. And then again here, you get in addition to that into this pool sharing, and then you're getting a percentage of that. And then in addition to that, a Diamond 3-star 5%. Now that's pretty exciting, because the first Diamond 1-star in the company is going to be the only one earning that 15%. So think about that. If we can get the Diamond 1-star first, you're the first person in that pool that month, the company's going to be doing some pretty decent volume. So of that 3%, you're going to be the one that picks up that bonus. And of course, as more diamonds come on board, you divide that up. But it's just a great incentive to reward builders and team builders, and it really gives you the ability to earn some great income. So that's a real exciting thing. So this is just a quick overview of how the rank and bonus criteria work. You notice down here the 4,500 group volume, 60% rule applies. Like we talked about earlier, of the 4,500, 60% of that would have to be in one leg, and the other 40% coming from your other leg. So you need to be building your team balanced again as you progress. Now you can qualify with your personal volume up only until Executive 1-star. Beyond that, it's going to be your group volume that qualifies you. So you got to be building a team. Nobody can get in this business and just sit around and get rich. It's definitely something you can work at, and it will reward you accordingly. So couple of quick things as we wrap up. Important compensation items. The sales week volume for calculating binary commission closes Sunday night at midnight. We talked about that. Binary commissions and fast start bonuses are paid weekly. Unilevel commissions and global bonuses are paid monthly. An auto reorder volume of 75 per month is required to maintain eligibility for commissions. The 60% rule applies. We just talked about that. And then remember, guys, be careful not to make income claims in your advertising and promotion. As you start making money with Zivizi, it's against the policy to put out dollar amounts as income claims on advertising and promotional material. So just make that a point when you're sharing the Zivizi opportunity through maybe some ads or through some display ads or whatever choice you make, that you don't put out income claims in those ads. Another thing that we want to just touch on as we wrap up today is your first 48 hours. You want to make a names list. When you bring somebody in the business, this is the other thing we do right out of the gate. Let's sit down with you and let's get a names list for you put together, and let's contact these prospects. We can do 3-way call introductions with your upline on the hot 10 or the 10 people that are most qualified for us to be talking to. Let's get them signed up on the system. Let's approach them the right way, and let's go through the introductory training with them as well. So again, this is a prospect scorecard, and it's in the PowerPoint presentation here. I'll also make a PDF document for you and make that available. But you can print this out and hand this to your new signups, and this is something that Carl Blackman used for building his previous businesses significantly, and this is part of a great training program we do on reaching out to people. But this is a prospects scorecard, and the way this works is you go down your names list, put in your top 20 names or the first 20 that come to your mind, score those. Remember, you can make more worksheets than just this one. Make 3 or 4 copies of this. But you're going to score your contacts based upon if you've known them for a year, if you've been invited to their home, if they've ever helped you, do you know their spouse's name. Now, this is really to give you the ability to determine which one of these prospects you have the most credibility with. And then some character traits that you can write here that you might know about them. How would you describe them? Would it be competitive, ambitious? Are they great salespeople? Do they like helping people? Money motivated? Are they enthusiastic? And you put that trait in here. And then this is the worksheet you want to hand to your upline and say, listen, these are my people I want to contact. And your upline can then look at your scores and look at your traits, and that helps them to frame in the discussion and understand a little bit more about your prospects when they do some 3-way calls with you, or when you reach out to them, you're going to know a little bit more about some of those as well. So just get started, just get your list out there and start working your list. You know, sometimes just doing it is better than waiting around and hoping somebody does it for you in any case. Okay, we're going to spend a few minutes looking at some commission scenarios as you build out your team. Just one thing to think about, in this scenario, you're sponsoring 4 people personally, so you'll have 2 on your right and 2 on your left, as you can see here. This is assuming that you come into the business and you purchase the 250 Z-Core pack that gives you the personal volume, and then you go out and get your 4 people who do the same. In that scenario, remember, as I start this process of showing you 3 different income earning scenarios, think about the time you spend with these 4 people. Let's just assume it's going to be the same for each of them in each one of these 3 scenarios. So if you were to go out and bring on your Z promoters and they purchase the $250 Z-Core or Z-Slim system for themselves, you're going to earn $50 in fast start bonuses on all 4 of those. You're going to earn $50 in your binary commission, so because it takes the 250 to 250, that's 500 on each side, but it'll pick one of the sides if it's even, and you'll have that commission of 10% paid out on that. And then you've got this 50% unilevel on your level 1. Remember, all 4 of these will be your direct level 1 position in the unilevel tree like we looked at earlier. So in this scenario, you're at $300 in commissions earned. Now that's not bad if you're just getting started. That's great income for any new business that you're jumping into when you go out and begin to build it. So let's go ahead and take a look at the next scenario here. This would be if you're going out to those same 4 people and they come in as a director 3-star level. They're getting the Z-Core system, the Z-Slim system, and they're getting the Z-Essence system. And this is what I prefer to do because I like to bring business builders in, and I think of it like this: the quality and quantity of what you get is a representation of the type of business builder and experience they're going to have with the company. So this is a fantastic company. The products are wonderful, so let's give everybody a good experience. So if they want to come in, they want to be a builder, and that's the mindset as you approach this, then you're going to do much better at bringing in people at that director 3-star level. So in this case, this scenario, you've come in, you came in as a director 3-star, you bought the $1,000 Director Z pack. You've got now all the products. It's great, so you can use them, you can sample some of them, but it gives you the full Zivizi experience, and I think that's really, really important if you're serious about building your business. So you go out to those same 4 people in this scenario. Your 4 that you bring in do the same thing you did. A lot of people will say, well, what'd you do? I'm going to do that. And it's a big difference on your earning commission level. So if you look at this, the same commission applies, a 20% fast start, but on those same 4, you've earned $800 in fast start bonuses, $200 in binary commissions, and $100 in your level 1 unilevel commission. So you're at $1,100 in commissions. That's the difference between $300 and $1,100. So you're going to have a different experience if you're out bringing in business builders. I as a business owner that I am and have been for over 25 years, I can't remember ever starting a business or being involved with a company where I didn't have to make a significant investment in resources, people, marketing, staffing, all the stuff that this company gives us the ability to not have to come out of pocket for, but get right started into business for ourselves at this price is really, really it's really justified. So this is what I like to do, is get on the fast track. Someone asked me, how do I grow my business fast? I mean, how do I make money fast? What they were saying is, how do I earn more income quickly? And the way to do that is to start off building your business the right way to begin with. So let's take you down to the next scenario here. If you were coming in as an executive 1-star and you bought the $2,500 package, now you're really getting some products. You have some inventory in case you have people that come on board quickly and need to buy some inventory from you. You've got 2 Z-Core systems, 2 Z-Sim systems, 3 Essence systems. You really got something here that is going to help you get off to a fast start launch. Again, if you do the same with those same 4 people, keep in mind you're spending about the same amount of time with them. The difference is what level do they want to commit to build a business. In this scenario, these are $2,500 builders. You've got $500 in fast start bonuses on each one. That's $2,000 in fast start bonuses you've earned, $500 in binary commissions, $500 in unilevel commissions. So you're up to $3,000. Now, for a lot of people out there, $3,000 in extra monthly income would be a windfall. And that's just coming into this business. So you can see by these 3 different examples, executive 1-star, if you come in at that level as far as your personal volume, if you come in at director 3-star with your personal volume, or if you just get started as a director 1-star and you come in to build your business, you can choose how you want to grow your business, how fast you want to grow it, and how you want to bring people on. So this was just an important slide for you to take a look at, the differences in the commissions you can generate as you're starting off and building your business with Zivizi. So I just want to say thank you for spending some time with me today. For more information, you can also take this PowerPoint and you can listen to me talking, or you can just do it on your own. You can put your name information if you want to give this training. As your people come on board, you're certainly welcome to do that. Please feel free to reach out to Zivizi support. Their toll-free number is here on the screen, the email, and we've got a great organization here to help us and support us in growing our business. So again, thank you guys for all of your time, and I wish you the best at building your new Zivizi business. Thanks.